Hi, I'm Namita, the founder of Yoganama, and today I'm here to share with you a relaxing yoga flow that is going to help you release tension and stiffness from the body and also help you get into a calm state of mind. So let's get started with a very rejuvenating breathing practice called the Circle of Joy. For this practice, you can sit in Sukhasana, you can sit in Vajrasana, or you can even sit on a chair, whatever is more comfortable for you. So meet me in your position of choice, and we are going to begin with our hands interlocked, palms facing down. On an inhale, bring your hands up to chest level. As you exhale, flip the palms away from you, rounding the spine, bringing the chin to chest. On an inhale, rise up, reaching up for the sky, trying to get tall. And on an exhale, bring the hands down. On an inhale, roll the shoulders back, interlock the fingers behind you now. And then on an exhale, return back to the starting position. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, interlock behind you, rolling the shoulders back. And exhale, bring the hands back down. Another round. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come back down. And inhale, take the hands behind, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, come back to neutral. From here, let's move into child pose. So, come onto your hands and knees. Widen the knees slightly, bring the toes or the big toe to touch and sit back, walking your hands forward, coming into this wide knee child pose and resting your forehead to the ground. Inhale and exhale here. Using this time to improve the length and quality of your breath. We can find that relaxation, that calmness through the breath in the body as well. From there, roll forward, coming back onto your hands and knees. We will come into this tabletop position. Make sure your wrists are below the shoulders and your knees below the hips, so you make a nice table-like posture. From here, we move into cat-cow. So on an inhale, lift your neck up. Bring the navel towards the floor, and on an exhale, push the ground away, rounding yourself into the cat posture. Moving to cow, inhale, bringing the chest through the arms, so dragging the hands back isometrically, and exhale, round the spine. One more time, inhale, draw the palms back. Bring the chest through the gateway of your arms, and exhale, reverse the movement, rounding the spine. Inhale, back to neutral. Adding a variation now. So on an inhale, shifting the hips to the left and the shoulders to the right, crisscrossing your way back, making sure your neck remains a part of this movement. Just do this variation of cat-cow, finding some fluidity in your spine and your shoulders as you do this. Just crisscrossing one side to the other as we find some nice release in all the tension we carry in the shoulders and the spine. And let's switch sides now. Let's do this to the other side, which may be a little confusing. Just play along with the practice. Don't worry about whether you get it right or not. The point is to move. So shifting the hips to the right and then forward one more time here. Rolling yourself and returning to neutral. From here, walk your hands forward. Make sure your hips stay above the knees and bring your forehead to the ground while keeping your elbows off the floor. Coming into this variation of the child pose called Nikunjasana, getting a deeper stretch in the shoulders. If and only if you feel comfortable, you can work on bringing your chest towards the ground. But that's not necessary. You can stay with the previous variation and breathe into it. One more breath here. And exhale, release. And slowly walk your hands back halfway. And from there, tuck the toes in. Rise up into downward facing dog. You can also walk this posture by bending one knee at a time in case it is difficult to find the heels towards the floor. Feel free to work one heel back at a time, and after doing a few rounds of these, if you feel comfortable, come into downward dog or stay in this variation with the knees bent and heels lifted. Remember, either variation is fine. Choose something that works for you today. And from there, bring the right foot between the palms and bring the left knee down to stay in this Ashwasanchalan position and take a breath. Inhale and exhale completely. And then rise up into Anjaneyasana, which is like a low lunge. Now, the only thing I want you to avoid here is don't do this. Don't let the stretch go into your back. Shift back a little bit. You should be feeling it in your left hip flexor, which is the area right here. It is stretching by virtue of your knee going behind the hips. Now, let's add the upper body into this. Take your left hand up overhead. Bend the elbow and then grab hold of the left elbow with the right hand and bend towards the right side, allowing the breath to help you move and stay into this posture. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling the expansion in the chest as you inhale and a little relaxation which allows you to sink deeper as you exhale. And then slowly release. Bring both hands down on either side of the right foot. Take the right hand up overhead to come into this thoracic spine opening where your upper body opens up a bit. As you take your hand, reach it up towards the ceiling and then take the right hand back as if you want to touch whatever is behind you. Maintain that activation and then, if comfortable, lift the back foot off the floor. Grab hold of the ankle with the right hand and kick back into the hand with the ankle, simultaneously looking back to hold the posture. So it's a twist. It's also a good stretch for the hip flexors and the quads. And gets the upper body into the mix as well. Let's take a breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then release. Come back to neutral first. And from there, step back into downward facing dog again. And take one breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And step forward with the left foot this time, coming into this lunge here or Ashwasanchalan variation. Take one breath to settle in and then rise up into Anjaneyasana. Finding that stretch in the right hip flexor this time. Again, make sure that you don't sink all the way down. Come to about 70-80% of your capacity by shifting back a little bit and working on pressing the hips forward evenly and equally. From here, we take the right hand up overhead and bend it at the elbow. Grab hold of the elbow with the left hand and pull yourself to come into a side bend on the left side now. And breathe into this here. Every time you breathe, you will feel a deeper stretch, and that is our goal. So use the breath to keep activating this posture on every inhalation, and on an exhalation, sink deeper towards the ground as much as is comfortable for you today. Let's take one more breath here like this. Inhale and exhale, and then slowly release. Bring both hands down on either side of the left foot this time. Open your chest to the left side now, taking your left hand up overhead. And breathe. Reaching up with the fingertips of the left hand and staying active in the right shoulder. Don't let it sink like this. Keep it well aligned and then reach back with the left hand, trying to grab onto something that's behind you. With that intention, bend the right knee now and grab hold of the ankle with the left hand. When this is comfortable, feel free to kick back into the hand to open the body up into a twist and hold that there. If it feels comfortable, feel free to come onto the outer edge of the left foot. Just make sure your knee is pointing in the same direction as your toes. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale and exhale and return back to Ashwasanchalan, and from there make your way back to downward facing dog and take a breath. Let's bring the knees back down on the floor. We're going to transition to lying down on our back. Cross the ankles behind you. Sit back. Release the ankles from underneath and lie down on your mat. Bring the right knee to the chest. If you have any kind of discomfort in the knee, please hold on to the leg from behind the knee around your hamstrings. And on an exhale, lift up, bringing the knee to nose. And then release. Straighten this leg. Pull the left knee into the chest this time. And same thing, lift up, bringing the knee to nose. And then release. From here again, pull the right knee into the chest, but we are going to come into a twist. So you are going to roll the knee to the left side. Simultaneously open your hand out to the right, trying to keep both the shoulder and the knee on the ground as you come into this relaxing spinal twist called Jatara Parivartanasana. Twisting is very good for the spine and the mind. So this is a good practice to do before pranayama or meditation practice as well. Let's return and do this on the other side. Pull the left knee into the chest and drop the knee to the right as you take your vision or drishti to the left side. So right knee and right shoulder simultaneously trying to be in contact with the ground. If you have to choose one, I recommend stabilizing the lower body and bringing the knee to the floor and making your way towards the ground with the shoulder gradually and mindfully. Let's return back to the mat with the knees bent, and from here place one palm around the navel, the other palm around your rib cage, the lower ribs, and take this time to focus on your breathing, observing the rise and fall of the belly and the chest with every inhalation and exhalation. Remember, when you inhale, belly and the chest rise, and as you exhale, they return back to neutral. One more breath like that. Inhale and exhale, and then straighten the legs. Let your hands rest by your side to move into Shavasana.